Hey guys, it's Josiah here, back again with another video. Now in this video, I want to be walking through why copying cold outreach script does not work. And why I made this video is because I was just going around speaking to a few clients, and I had this one client that kept asking me about like, what's your current outreach script? What's you currently using to book appointments? Like, send me your outreach script, and just always sending me the outreach script that I was using at this time. And of course, I could show him the outreach script that I was using, but that doesn't mean that it works specifically for him. Right? Because he was in a different niche, different offer. Just if I showed you exactly a stimuli, or let's say a script that I'm using, doesn't mean necessarily they would work for you. Right? And I wanted to make this video just going through this just to help people out that are consistently just going through, looking for the next outreach script, looking for the next hack that they can use to increase or improve their outreach, right? And I'm gonna walk through a method that I've been using that's helped me book so many appointments. We book around 10 to 15 appointments per day. And I just didn't do this by just copying other people's things. I just did it by just going deep into the fundamentals, okay? Now, before I go into that, who am I? My name is Josiah. I've scaled my own agency to multi-six figures, and I'm helping other agency owners do the same. If you wanna know a bit more about what we do, link in the chat and everything like that. We have clients just like for now, going from literally 8K per month all the way to 70K per month in 4 months. And last month we just hit his first 200K per month. So we helped them scale all the way from 8K to 200K in just under a year, which I'm really proud about. All right. Now, the first thing I want to say is just, why am I making this video in terms of how could this help you? Because a lot of people are looking for that next outreach script. And knowing that is so crucial, because number one, you want to understand that if you copy someone else's outreach script, you have to understand that no one in their right brain will put something that's working so hard for free. And I know people are saying, Alex, I'm going to give everything away for free, everything like that. Yes, do that if you're a good Samaritan. But if you have something that's working, bearing in mind, in this day and age, especially with instantly, especially with like the ability to scale and use leverage, right? You could give someone an outreach script and they can send it to thousands of people per day on day one, right? If they have the right email structure. Even if they have a better email structure, they send to 10,000 people in just one day. So that's why a lot of creators you see, especially YouTube or the gurus, whatever you like to call them, they're never going to give you something that's actually working right now. Like, they will never give you something that's actually working right now. What they'll do is give you something that probably worked last year and then make a post about it. Like, this worked last year, I'm going to make a post about it. Bearing in mind, they've already like rinsed it out. They've already sent it to thousands and thousands of people. And that's why, especially for me, when I was trying to do the method of copying other people's scripts and just trying to use it myself, it may work sometimes, or even if it did, it may work for a bit, but then it'll stop working. Or perhaps it wouldn't even work at all, which was 80% of the time. And I'd be like, oh my God, this platform doesn't work, LinkedIn doesn't work, email doesn't work. But you just didn't have the right stimuli for your niche and your offer, right? And that's one thing a lot of people do, because, which is the second point, right? It's people don't have context on the script. So for example, right, I remember having one of my friends, we're in the same mastermind, and he was targeting private equity, right? Now his outreach script, I kid you not, was like 3 to 4 paragraphs long. 3 to 4 paragraphs long. Imagine doing that in, like, let's say a niche like mine, like agencies. You will usually won't get any replies. It's just too long. Now, all the cold email gurus will tell you, cut it down maybe to 1, 2 lines, 3 lines. Yes, some of them scripts usually work, right? But he had just a 3 to 4 paragraph email outreach that he done, okay? And with that being said, I just thought, like, surely this is not working, right? And his results were 5% median book rate on email. 5% meeting book rate on email, right? Like, that's even higher than some people's mean book rate on LinkedIn, or like on a different, like an email, but 5% on email was unheard of. I was like, how are you doing this, guys? This without any personalization. This was way before Clay came into the picture that you can personalize every single thing. He was just writing a detailed email on how he could help the private equity generate more appointments or more deals by using his service. Like, that's all he done, right? And it was very formal, a very formal email, and it sounded like, honestly, like a robot wrote it, but it was printing appointments. Now, why did that work? Out of every single thing, right? He could have gone for a one-liner email, he could have gone for Loom, but why did he do that? Because he understood his niche. He understood that he was speaking to very sophisticated individuals, people that have probably owned and sold their own business, people that like reading, in this case, people that don't have short attention span, that have really long attention span because they're used to focusing so long, people that are a bit older, people that like a bit more of that like nuance and actually wants to understand a few things before actually making a decision. And with that being said, like, it was, when I seen that, it was so eye-opening to me, because it all came off. The better you understand your niche, the better copy you can write, right? So the more you understand your niche, the better copy you can write, right? And a lot of people, I don't understand that. Like, they're trying to focus so deeply on the copy, on pasting and doing X, Y, Z. But if you just understand or understood who you were talking to, the other guy at the end of the screen, right, looking at your email, it's going to make life so much easier, so much easier. And people don't even understand the depth of that. Like, really understanding that if you mention this key person in your email or this key software, it can increase your positive reply rate because you know what they're looking at. Like, you actually know the niche like the back of your hand, right? And especially like this video right now, like I'm talking to you knowing that I was on the other side thinking about what's the best outreach, what's this, what's that, but I never found it. Right? And the ones that I did find didn't even work. So it was like, wow, I was just going via circles and circles and circles. Now, another thing as well that you have to understand is like when you are copying other people's outreach script, right? You may think that you're building your skills, but in reality, you're just copy and pasting and just changing a few things around. Like for example, if you could actually sit there and without any, let's say, influence of anyone else, you can sit down, write an email script that actually books appointments without any influence of anyone else because you have them skills inside. Can you actually do that? Can that actually, that email script can actually work, right? And the answer is no. That means you haven't built the skills up yourself, right? And you actually just taking that stimuli or taking that script and just using it, it's just downgrading the skills that you would have built if you just would have done it the proper way, right? And I'm going to show you how I done it to actually start getting appointments, actually start going to a point now that I can actually teach this to people and they see results instantaneously, right? And that's the level that you want to get to. So in terms of this, what should you do instead? Now, a few things that I've done is using frameworks, okay? Now, the difference between a script and a framework, right? A script is word for word, like we help this company, we help this company, or we done this, we done that, right? A framework is more of the generic, how a good email script should look like. And there's different frameworks, right? There's a one-liner framework, for example, asking a pain point in question. Hey, Josiah, if I could double your business in the next 10 months, would you be interested in learning more? Right? That's one framework, right? Another framework could be a bit longer one. We say, hey, just seeing that you work with let's say construction companies similar to our client XYZ. The reason I'm reaching out is because we recently helped that client land 3 construction deals in just under 30 days, and I'm confident we could do the same thing for you. Do you mind if we jump on a call and then explain further, right? Or do you mind if I send you more information? Right? Now, I just done that at the top of my head, right? And the reason why is because I have frameworks, like outreach frameworks, whether that be short form for, let's say, DMs or longer form for even, let's say, emails, right? And that's what you want to get. You want to actually start archiving, which is just storing, right? Frameworks in your head consistently of winning scripts that you see, right? And the way you find winning scripts, the best way I've seen find winning scripts is actually join a group or join a mentorship or join something that's paid, right? That you've actually paid to understand and to actually learn and see what's working in that group right here, right now. Right? Because you want to be in a group that they're booking appointments today, not a group that you were there booking appointments last year, because what worked last year, I promise you, would not work today. Just because we're in such a changing and evolving environment that digitally, like, things can change like in a month or two, right? Things can change, right? So 100% use frameworks. And the best way, another framework that I've realized that's helped me so much, right? So, and this is an exercise that I always do. So you sit down, okay? You actually just have nothing open, close down all your screens, everything like that. And you just have a doc right in front of you. Now that doc is completely empty, nothing on there. And all you're just thinking is if you could write one last email, right, to this specific person, whether that could be a e-commerce manager or e-commerce store owner doing $1 million a year, right? And you need to just get that email through to him and he needs to reply. What would you do in that email, right? What type of research would you do, right? What would you make it sound like? Right? What offer would you put in it to make it absolutely a no-brainer that he has to respond to that email or message? Okay? And then from there, write everything out. Then what I like to do is look at all the variables that you've used. So let's say you've added their company name, you've added something about the store, you've added everything else, and then ask yourself, how can I use clay.com to personalize and automate this whole thing? Right? And that's when you're going to really start getting really good at copywriting, right? Because you actually have done it from your muscle memory instead of just copy and pasting things left, right, and center, right? So 100% advise you guys to really learn frameworks and then using that frameworks in the copy just from your head, because that's when you're going to find the most unique copy. And the thing is about this market right now, it actually rewards uniqueness, right? If you see something that's unique, like have you ever seen like an ad? I remember seeing like one of Alex Emosi's ads when he was on a bloody pony and stuff, and I could just always remember that ad on him on a bloody pony or like a white horse. It was just a unique ad. I was like, I don't see anyone in a pony trying to sell me bloody marketing, but man, I really like the ad because it's very unique. The same thing about your messaging. It's just make it unique. And the best way to make it unique is just it coming from you, right? Because no one in the world could have the same idea, articulate the same way, everything like that, except from you. Okay, now what you want to do to get better at this is start reviewing scripts, not copying scripts. Okay, so you want to review scripts to help you understand better on how to describe the value, right? How do you better describe an offer? How do you better describe a mechanism? Maybe the way that some guy wrote it looked really good how he wrote that, or it sounded really good after reading that, right? And then you want to start reading them and actually start studying them, right? Because as you start studying them, subconsciously, you're really going to get them into your brain. You're going to know how to use them when doing copy, when actually writing it for clients. Let's say doing client delivery. It's just going to get into your brain so you really can start outputting good quality, okay? And then once you have that, what I want you to do while having the scripts, so I want you to review 10 scripts. So just go find some scripts online or join a group, write a paid group, actually review 10 scripts and ask yourself what are the common patterns in these scripts, okay? And how do they describe certain things? For example, let's say mechanism. How does someone describe a benefit of something? How you doing? Let's say we use TikTok shop ad to target, let's say 18 to 20-year-old girls, because we found a better, let's say we found it double conversions, right? It could be something as small as that, right? And I just did it on the top of my head, but something like that. And then review 10 of them, and I want you to write 5 or 10 new scripts just from after the ones that you reviewed, just to get your brain into it, right? Because the thing, again, we're training the muscle to actually learn and write scripts without any other influence, just by our brain, right? And this can become really, really helpful because you're gonna have 10 scripts to review from, and then you can use a bit of both to really write down something that's very unique. Okay, and then lastly, what we need to do is just start testing it. The best judge of a script, the best judge of an offer is the market. So test, test, and test. So test 10 scripts, 20 scripts, 30 scripts, 50 scripts, as many. I don't want to hear like, oh, I'm just going to test 2 a day. Test as many as you need to get the results. Okay, I just remember when I was testing last year, we had one script that literally lasted us 8 months. And before getting to that point, I was testing at least 5 to 10 scripts every day, right? Running high volume, testing as much as possible every single day, right? Until I found something that really worked. And then once I found something that worked, I just scaled it for 8 months, right? And that brought in thousands of appointments. So 100% test it within the frameworks, right? And when I say within the frameworks, I mean like use the frameworks that you've gone or you've seen, right? And test it within. Don't try to do something that's crazy, like too crazy, that yes, you can test and try them, right? But they're most likely not going to work. Test within the framework. So use all of the frameworks that you've had, put it in a script that you have made up, right? That came from you, okay? And again, put in that person in mind that you're writing the scripts to. And then once you have that, you're going to be able to start scaling, right? Now, what you can use is feedback from, let's say, your positive replies, also your negative replies, to see what your market has liked the most. Maybe it's just one script the way you said this one, right? Maybe they like maybe they like longer scripts rather than shorter scripts, right? You realize that that longer script attracts a better client for you, people that are a bit more sophisticated. So perhaps you then stick to longer scripts and then really perhaps add more detail or remove more detail to see how you can best improve that script and optimize that script to start booking appointments, right? And then you want to just complete the cycle again and again and again and working on the better scripts. So for example, let's say I test A, test B wins. Then I'm going to test again, but I'm using B as a stepping stone, right? So I'm testing different variations of B. And then sooner, after you get through that 2 or 3 or 4 tests, after picking the winner of each and every single test, you're gonna get to a point that you're gonna find that KPI, that sweet spot, that proof of concept. And then from there, it's just a matter of scaling it and scaling it and scaling it, right? And that's how I've got to a point right now that we've booked over 150 calls in just under 30 days, right? Because I've taken that same ideology, right? And just kept consistent, right? Just kept doing it again and again and again. Right now I get to a point that I don't need to actually find scripts. I can just open my laptop and then just write one and then book appointments. And that's the level that you need to get to, because that's what we call mastery level, right? When you can just wake up, write out your script and then like open a campaign. And once you get to that level, you're gonna have so much power in your business, in your agency, that you're gonna decide how many appointments you get. If you wanna get more appointments, you can just write a script, increase the volume, right? If you wanna get less, you can just decrease the volume. Okay, and now that's essentially it. If you need help basically building this in terms of the right copy frameworks and everything like that, there's a whole videos in the program, the paid community that I'm in, and that I host, sorry. And we have so many proven frameworks, right? Around like 20, 25 proven frameworks that work today. Now, if you are interested, just book a call below, then we can have a chat about them, how we can help them implement your agency so you can start booking appointments and scaling as soon as possible. But that's it from this short video. I hope you have a nice day and take care, like, subscribe, and bye.